Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, this is the Admiral Dadman summary for the 22nd of January 1942. So things are actually looking pretty good so far. We did have a quiet turn last turn, and I do not mind that at all. Do not mind it. It gives us the time to prepare, which is excellent. Now, what we're doing here, then, is we are preparing for the invasion of Java, and I do have the forces being loaded once again over here at Benjamin, however you want to pronounce that. I need to look at the pronunciation there. Actually, I could have left them on board the ships, but I don't think it's a bad idea to actually have them unloaded just in case they are attacked. It also gives them the opportunity to rest there, which is actually very useful to us. It's a way for them to be loaded up. They'll be finished next turn. The other forces then can begin loading back, and once again we'll have the 2 regiments and tank regiment loaded back up. Right now he's going to continue. He's been continuing to send the 139, so while we have the opportunity to take them out, then I'll do so. I do have a nightcap set up just in case as well, so we should be okay there. I do have some transports in position. I can move additional transports. Actually, have I shifted them in here? Yes, we have the transports in position here now. So when we wish to, we can actually have parachutes flowing over here to Java, which will be quite fun. We do have our forces moving south over here to East Haven. I do have aircraft set up to actually LRCAP the landing, well, the actual amphibious group over here, but also the actual heavy cruiser group too, which is going to be quite useful. We are moving through this area then. He may potentially send out some boats to attack, because we are in a position where we actually do have enough forces in here. I might put in the patrol boats in here. It is tempting to make sure we have, like, because he might go ahead and do that. He has the MGBs over here after all. And he does have more here. I think I will do that then, actually. I'll go ahead and put these guys in here then. Just, I mean, it's increasing the threat of submarines, but it also, yeah, we do have to take it into consideration. We do have to take it a pinch of salt that they might not be able to protect against the real threat, which might be the MTBs, or the MGBs, really, the actual motorboats and etc. So having a few more in here isn't a terribly bad idea. And we do have 2 patrol craft in here. And these are Momi class. These are essentially like all destroyers, essentially. And they have guns. They do have a decent amount of ammunition. They have the torpedoes. They have AA. They're pretty damn maneuverable. And actually, no, they're not maneuverable. 33. That's just pretty poor there. Very old, it seems. And we do have the Tama. And we have Kiso. And these are pretty able, like, cruisers there. Obviously well armed. So, yeah, we'll be able to manage there. We do have plenty of these guys here, so it should screen us, which is nice. A lot of these are low value. They don't have anything aboard, which is fine, so they make good bait. Having the heavy cruisers up here will help us out. So yeah, that's fine. We'll have them both covered by LRCAP, and I'll actually cover them both there. So it's going to take 2 days for them to arrive over here at East Haven, so they'll be around about like there-ish. They might arrive next turn, but I don't think they will. I mean, if we take a look over here, they're moving... Actually, no, oh, that's the heavy cruisers, that's why. They're moving there. Actually, they've got 6 to go. I think... I don't know, I'll double check, but I've forgotten which one I need to check. I think it's the cruise speed that we need to keep an eye on, which is the 2 there. Yeah, I think it's the 2 there. So it should... And if I'm wrong, then we get to see how it works. Again, so I forget which way it goes round. I think it'll be 2 days before they actually arrive in base here, which is fine. That gives us enough time to move these forces along the coast over here, and we'll be good to go from there. I could have them set up to set out during the actual... as soon as they're done, but I'm going to have things actually timed together. We do have paratroopers being brought. I'm actually using the transport squadron over here at Palembang to pull paratroopers from Johor Bahru over here, down across to Java. I'm going to use these torpedo boats. I've cancelled their loading. I put them onto service combat, and they're going to go ahead and try to interdict these forces out here. If we get the opportunity to interdict them, I'm going to take that opportunity there, which is worthwhile. And then we'll go back to actually loading up the paratroopers over here at Sinabang, which is quite nice. We do have our forces setting up from Singapore, which is looking excellent. I have activated the heavy industry over here at Singapore. Now, we are in an interesting position because there will come a point in the near future upon which we actually decide whether or not we're going to actually expand heavy industry. And we will do that, but we'll probably, not a tremendous amount, but we're doing certain areas where they're not likely to be taken from us for a very long time, essentially. Or if ever at all, really. And I do kind of, it depends really on how China goes, but I do kind of favour potentially positions in China, but Korea is probably the best case. I mean, the thing about Korea is it's so well shielded from the rest of the world there. Also, we do have Japan there. We do have the Asian mainland. But yeah, Korea is probably a very good idea for putting heavy industry in there. So it's connected to the mainland. Well, it's actually connected to Honshu, obviously connected to Kyushu, Shikoku, and obviously to an extent Hokkaido as well. So it's connected to the home islands, which is good. Ideally well protected. I'd consider something in China, but we'll see. We are in a position here where I think we do have a good shot at taking Xi'an. I'd like to get some reconnaissance. I might actually have some reconnaissance capabilities in China. Not a tremendous amount, but I might even have these forces employed to do that reconnaissance role. Yeah, just perhaps to have something there available, I might just take about 4 of them, actually. What is their range? Their range is 8. What's the range to Xi'an? That's 9. I should have aviation here. Yes, we do. We have quite a bit, actually. I might even... to be honest, I'm actually tempted to buy these units out in the future. I mean, they are fairly expensive, but for what they offer, it's well worthwhile. So I don't need a huge amount of aviation in China. Well, I'm not going to do that anytime soon, but it might be something worthwhile doing. But what I'll do then... Actually, I'm going to have them moved up there. I might as well go ahead and try and get some proper reconnaissance set up. So we'll have them moved over here to Changzhou. They're not going to be great at it, but frankly, if I could get any reconnaissance, that's still pretty good for me. So we'll go 50 there. I could go probably lower in altitude, but 20,000 feet just ensures that we do not come under any threat, which is fine by me. So we'll go ahead and we'll start gathering information on Xi'an if we can, which would be nice. Reconnaissance isn't great, but if I can try and gather any intelligence, I'd appreciate that. We do have our forces marching across here. So 26 will arrive tomorrow, which is great. So then what we'll be able to do is begin to march out of here to the north, and that will give us another road in towards Xi'an. Now, the ultimate goal here is going to be to secure Langchao, Xi'an Langchao. I really keep on driving up north along here. I don't know how much he'd actually have AV-wise up here, but I don't imagine he'd have a lot. But we'd send something that could actually handle it. But then Urumqi over here would be very nice. The 51 oil, the additional refineries and light industry, but it's the oil that we want there. That oil, that 51 oil, would be very much worthwhile. So being able to secure there. What's that, 90? Well, we have 91 there. So it's 21 there. Yeah, there we go. It's just well worthwhile. It's just well worthwhile. Absolutely. And that's taking us into like, well, the 160, 170ish range. Never do maths when you're actually casting or recording. Because you're not thinking properly, it's not worthwhile trying to do it, and you're gonna look bad. Which is why I've not done it. I dare not do it. Not live, but I dare not do it even when I'm doing this. Dear. I am sending. Let's see. I need to get some amphibious transport sent out that way. Well, not amphibious, you know what I mean, just some actual transportation ships to Shanghai. So I bought out a unit there. Aviation battalion. Right, okay. These Tohos are superb for that sort of thing. So I'll get about 3 of them sent out there. Do I have any patrols? I've got that, that's fine, just to get them across there. We'll find a more appropriate escort as we go on, then. So I'm going to get them moved out there, then. That'd be nice. I might even have that potentially... And I might even have, like, an aviation unit set up here. Maybe. But as for how much use it is, it's debatable, considering that we have the ports over here. Well, we have the airfields over here in Korea. Yeah, probably not. I mean, there's a level 3 over here. It'd be better off just using that. It's like 1 hex apart. Yeah. But there's always options. Always options there. So in China, we are going to be seeing a pretty hefty offensive towards the north. But if we can take that, if we can actually deprive China of fuel, but obviously deprive China of oil and fuel, and take Burma, then China is going to die a slow economic death. That is going to actually go quite quickly in the end. The reason being, they'll still have light industry, but if we cut the Burma road, take all the oil and refineries in the north, they're going to struggle. They still have the capability to supply resources to supply the light industry and produce said supply there. But they're only getting like 1 point of supply per light industry, so it's not a lot. And obviously with the amount of combat that would actually take place in a situation like that where we can actually push that way, they're going to run out pretty quick, and when they run out, they're not going to get it back. Well, they'll get a little bit back, but they're going to run out, and they're going to run out hard, and then they start to collapse. So that's pretty good there. Yeah, I mean, like that heavy industry over here at Chunking would just turn off. There's 181 supply there, but it's 361 there, so that's it. That would just switch off. That would just switch off completely, which would be very nice. I don't think China has much in the way of heavy industry, actually. There's a little over there at Changsha, which I might go ahead and capture in the near future. That might be like a center where I do build some heavy industry. Well, not build it, but repair it, perhaps. It depends, really. We'd have to win China for me to consider putting actual heavy industry in here. The light industry would be excellent. It'd come in real handy just over the long run, as it just doesn't run out. Oh, there's actually quite a lot of heavy industry over here to come in, actually. That'd be a very nice place to have there. A surprisingly large amount of heavy industry there. 101, wow. That is actually pretty impressive there. I mean, that's significantly more than Changsha. That's actually quite a lot of heavy industry. We do have some heavy industry over there at Xi'an. We do have... Yeah, so there's not much in the way of heavy industry in China. So if we could actually capture that, would be nice to actually have. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm going to leave build on up the heavy industry. I'll choose a few locations in Korea likely to build some up. It'll take, I think it takes about 500 plus days to actually pay for itself, really. And after that point, we'd probably see it actually start to produce for us as a net benefit in 43. Light industry is much later, like 44, 45, before it even becomes actually of any use. And we do not want to be in a position where we have no supply. So yes, we are looking pretty good. Like, economically, we are looking pretty good. We have managed to seize a large, well, practically all of the Dutch East Indies here. We'll have Java soon. Really quite nicely. The best case scenario here would be if we could actually seize Java. And if we could actually see some of these bases, like, near enough intact, that'd be fantastic. Like, an intact Soribaya would be nice. Being able to seize all that oil there, heavy industry, just... Yeah, the oil is what matters. Oil matters more than anything. I could repair that repair shipyard. I might even potentially consider expanding that repair shipyard a little bit, actually. Because it would be worthwhile being able to actually do conversions there. But then again, it's one of those of don't build up what your enemies could use against you. But it's one of those, if they're using the repair shipyard against me, it's probably too late at that point, and they'll be able to build it themselves anyway. But then again, you don't want to give them something larger. So we'll see. We do have a bit of a supply issue over here at Pegu. Supply is taking a little while to move around through here, but that's fine. As soon as we have Singapore cleared of mines, which we're looking like we'll be able to do, very quickly actually, we'll be in a great position. Looking forward to that. I think what I'm going to do is actually split these guys up into separate task forces. The reason being, just in case we ended up in some sort of battle situation, I don't want to have it where we might have collisions between ships. That would be like a worst case scenario. So I'll split them up. There might even be a potential that they clear more mines. Who knows? So I'll have them split up. And there we go. So a lot of minesweepers. A lot of minesweepers. It should get done very, very quickly, which I'm really ecstatic about. There we go. And what I'll do then is have them set to absolute just so they are not distracted. I don't think there's any naval threats in the area. And I am sending a light cruiser and destroyer group to the island just south just to clear the threats there. So I think we should be fine. And worst case scenario is they are damaged, they'll just fall back into Singapore as well, which is fine. So they obviously have that port there, which has enough repair shipyard capacity to actually repair them, which is nice. So that's good. If they are damaged by mines, we'll be able to repair them. It's interesting to see here he has reconnaissance over Singapore. I do wonder if that's because it was his base the last turn, so that makes sense to some degree. But, yeah. That's good. I'm glad that we finally have the city. We do have the elements moving out of the city then. I think we'll have some moving out this turn. Field artillery, might as well have you in rest mode actually. While you are here. Yeah, fatigue's practically nothing, but even so. We do have the engineers here. I'm going to have these naval construction units moved out in the near future. Like, as soon as we actually... And to be honest, I might even have them moved out to Port Blair. I could actually have them moved out to Port Blair. That would be a very good place to actually have them. They do have all that spot. They have the vehicles there. Yeah, so we can actually have them shifted over to Port Blair. That'd be excellent, actually. Beginning to build Port Blair up into a proper base immediately would be nice. I'd like to get that to size 4 base. I'd like to build up the Landermen as well. Just mutually supporting bases in the area, really. That would be nice. Yeah, we're looking good. So I do have this force moving to the north. It is the light cruiser Jinsu. Nukazi, Namikazi, Numakazi. Moving to the north there. No reaction. They're moving to that hex over there. I don't want to have them reacting to the minefield, essentially. I mean, those DMSs, they're not as fast as actual normal destroyers, but they can look after themselves. They've got the 12cm guns there. They have some maneuverability. They've got the capability to look after themselves to a decent point. They're actually dual-purpose guns, which are nice. So that's good there. Right, okay. Got the AVs moving through here. Ideally, they do not get hit by subs. Gonna hope for the best. The BBs I'm gonna have moved to Bavardwar. What I'm gonna do then is actually see if I've got something I can send out to meet them. But I don't have many patrol vessels over here, actually. I could have it when they get a little bit closer, have the sub-chaser there sent out towards meeting them, just try and give them a little bit of protection there. No, we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good so far. Naval search is going well. Yeah. Our forces will arrive in Manila next turn, which is going to be a lot of fun there. I do have my forces actually stood down. Well, they're going to be stood down in the near future. We do have these construction units that actually arrived at Clark last turn, well, this turn. So they can actually go ahead and actually increase the rate at which we build the fortifications here. Like, he's not going to be coming back to Clark, but I'm still going to fortify Clark because it's going to be useful for when we have to hold the Philippines in the future, really. But yeah, that's it. He's not going to be able to retake Clark. We do have the additional aviation units that are moving in here too, but we'll have such units such as the Special Base Forces which should be moving in. These guys having the 30 AV are really nice, so they'll be able to hold that. I'll then be able to move them out and actually make good use of them. I'm looking forward to when we can actually make use of Manila. I'm actually contemplating moving in some naval bombers in this area too. The reason being, well, and it may be worthwhile to do so. It may be worthwhile to do that, but we'll see. If I can get some warships over here, it'll be alright. Frankly, he doesn't have that far where he can't really go too far. It's kind of trapped like that. Right, they're heading to Yokohama, Yokosuka. They're heading north, okay. I don't really want them gonna go into Yokohama. That must have been like a return to base there. So we'll have them, yeah, they were on retirement allowed. So we'll have them head back to... Yes, head back there to Saipan. I don't want you heading north. Okay. Supply situation's fine there. We do have a bunch of supply down here, which is good news. So that's 26,000 tons of supply, which is even more than I actually thought it was, which is great. We had about 8,000 tons that just arrived this turn, which is good news at truck. So another 26,000 tons over here of supply at truck is going to be really quite welcome. That's going to definitely take us over the 100,000 mark once again, which is excellent. We're going to have supply constantly sent to this area, more or less. Building up these areas as well in the near future. It's more difficult to defend the marsh arms, but we do have the bases built up to a decent degree in the mandate, so these can make use of that. I do have these submarine search patrol in this area here. We did see ships down here. I did get an idea of where he's moving things. That'd be nice to have another glimpse out there, but we'll see. Now, as far as things are going, we're looking pretty good. We just need to get the bases built up. I have a number of construction units over here at BLeAcHACiD. They're being loaded up. They're going to be sent down here to the Kopang area. I do have a unit moving in here to capture this base, and then what we'll do then is shift the... not the 23rd Air Flotilla. I'd be moving... I would move the 11th Air Fleet into there. Yes, I'd move the 11th Air Fleet into that base. The reason being we'll be able to use all of these bases. So what we'll do then is we'll get that headquarters moved in there. I'll build all those airfields up there to size 2 and then begin building them, some of them up to like size 4 or something. We do have Kopang as a size 4, which is nice, so at least we have that already. I'd like to remove that threat in the near future, but we'll be able to deal with that. And it might be potentially worthwhile bombarding it with cruisers while they are there, but we'll see about that. I'm going to have to get more fuel down there. Let's see, I'm going to have them actually placed into port. With these fellas as well, have them placed into port as well, just so they're not using any fuel ideally. Yeah. What I'd like to do is actually find like a superior base to use them. We need to actually use them against Cape Town and Mombasa, these sort of areas down here. And yeah, assets are arrived from over this way. So what we might look at doing then is establishing a more forward base. So we might look at potentially operating from one of these bases out here to operate in the Indian Ocean. And I could operate down here, but I'm going to have to, like, use long-range submarines, which, yeah, I don't have a problem with, but it's one of those of I'd love to have, like, an interim base out here, or a way to supply them, refuel them. That'd be nice. But it's probably only Kopang. Kopang's probably going to be the closest we get there. Well, we'll see. I'll keep them in port for the time being. I'm bringing these submarines back to Timor, back to Kopang. So it doesn't look as if he's going to have his carriers moving through here, which is fine. His carriers are in an unknown position at this moment in time, but they're likely down here. If they're not down here, they'll be transitioning past New Caledonia and probably into the Pacific then shortly. We do have our assets over here, which are now undergoing repairs. We'll have further repairs actually carried out on them in the near future, which should be very nice. We are doing the resize as well aboard the Iceycrome, which is going to be a lot of fun. So Haruna is almost back in Japan, which is excellent news. Yep, she's almost back in Japan now. Not far away, not far. I should be able to undergo repairs over here at Hiroshima Kure. Hiroshima Kure has 100,000 ton, yep, repair shipyard, that's good. Yep, we'll be able to have that work carried out, which would be excellent. Ideally 100,000 yards should make quick work of her. We'll have Congo repaired shortly. She's going to be ready in about 3 or 4 days, I think it is. So we'll be able to make use of her then. 3 days there. Yep, looking nice. Alright, yeah. We're going to rest over here at Nanyang another turn. Well, this turn, allow these divisions to catch up, and then we'll be in a great position there. Those forces march in that way. I'd like to have a division move to the south edge to kick that core out of the way, really. It's clear terrain, so it might even be worthwhile to potentially use armoured units if we can't move up this way. We'll move up this way and ideally hope for the best. Ideally we can try and kick him out of position if he doesn't have enough men there. Yeah, things are working out. These army headquarters. Right, you've just arrived here. Okay. Have you head there? Yeah, I don't really need you where you are now. So we'll have you head out this way as well. They do come in very handy. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing then in the coming days is I'd like to get some zeros out this way. I do have the zeros at Baldwar, but I'm still not entirely sure if it's worthwhile transferring them as of yet. I think what I'll do then is, once I do feel confident that we have enough support in this area here in terms of actual fighters, then I can have them shifted out. I'm kind of keeping them in a position where they can rest, but also be in a position where they can be of use too. You can see that we do have an increasing number of zeros out here. So we have 53 zeros here right now. 19 are ready, 22 are not ready, 12 are reserved. So obviously they're going to be moved into the actual active squadrons here very quickly. I mean, this is it. We are resizing them. So each of these guys is about 30. Yeah, 30 there. That's the Iceycrome group. That cannot be resized, unfortunately. Okay. What I'm going to do here then is have them, let's see, have them just rest. There we go. These guys are running cap. Well, what we'll do then is we'll run a little bit of cap with the zeros here. I don't think there's a need to run them on naval attack, obviously have them out at 14 hexes. So that should reduce the amount of operational losses there as well, which is nice. I'm glad that I caught that. Now we're looking pretty good. We are looking pretty good. I mean, the beauty is once we actually have Raphael repaired fully, I mean, the airfield services will take a little bit of time, but that's not far away. I mean, a good chunk of that might be gone next turn, if not all of it, really. We do have supply that's been unloaded over here into Raphael, which is nice. Fuel's going to be moving into Raphael this turn too. And I've increased the amount of cap as well, just in case it gets smart. I really do want to protect these. I do actually have a light cruiser group over here as well, acting as actual support. You're heading out there to merge. What I'm doing here as well is, let's see, not these guys. Oh, I'm going to have these fellows actually form a second surface group, I think. Just on the off chance, it's well worthwhile just to have some destroyers here, just in case. You never know, really. Okay. these APs. Actually, I do need to get these APs some support. I'm glad I didn't forget about that. I'm glad I double-checked now. What I'll do even is grab the 2... Actually, let's see. Yeah, I've got these guys here. The forces actually just take 2 of them. Yeah, there we go. That should be sufficient. I'd love to dock them, but I can't. But we'll actually have the 84th Naval Guardmen in position, which is nice. It gives us a little bit more AB to work with. So we'll have 4 Naval Guard units over here, which is excellent. We'll be able to get them moved out then shortly. I also do have the engineer companies over here, which is very nice, because these are actually IJ engineers. So they'll come in quite handy for Port Moresby. But I think for Port Moresby, I'll probably just have a division brought down to tackle that, really. Division will be able to handle it well supported. It'll be able to handle it with enough supply. We'll be good to go. And what I'd like to do is actually have Buna built up to a good, strong position by that point. Having enough supply over here to actually make it, force its way down here would be good too. Nah, we're looking good. I don't think taking Moresby is going to be anywhere near as hard as it could be, frankly. So no, we're looking pretty good. We are looking pretty good. Not too much to report on here as of yet, but we're looking pretty strong so far. I mean, next turn, when we do have our forces in Manila, we'll be able to start a bombardment. So we'll be able to start the round-the-clock bombardment in Manila. Then we'll be able to look at the actual deliberate attacks. And then we'll be able to start looking at how long it's actually going to take Manila. I don't think it's going to take long. I'd love to see Manila fall before the end of January. That would be nice. Taking it all within January would be excellent. But that's going to take some time due to the fact we have to march there. But we're not far. We are not far. In all honesty, it's not far away. I do have 65th Brigade here. I think I'm going to have them put into movement mode. Yeah, get them marching in there. Get them marching in there. But no, actually, then again, they'll arrive when they arrive. Just on the off chance he does attack, I want to make sure they're in the proper mode. I expected him to attack this turn, to be honest, but that's fine. He hasn't, so okay. So I'm going to have them move in combat mode right now, but they're going to move towards actually securing the other hex sides over here as well, which would be nice. We're looking good. Looking very good, really. What am I doing with these zeros here? I do have additional key 27s here now, which is nice. Gives us additional assets to work with, which is excellent. These guys are in about cap 2. I may potentially have these zeros over here for 3rd KUS actually used to LRCAP. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that. They do have fatigue. Pilots ain't too bad. Although maybe do I want to just rest them? I think 30% is fine. I think that's completely reasonable. And I think it'd be worthwhile to actually have enough cap there, just to make sure that they are well protected from any bombers. He does have a number of fighters and bombers out here, so he could actually protect that. So I think having enough there would be quite nice. I might even go 50-50 on that. Yeah, we'll go about 50-50 on that. I'll go for a little bit higher up as well, about 10,000 feet too. Then at least we're able to dive then. Yeah, so that should be enough there. We do have Key 431B supporting them too, so having some zeros there would be nice to support them. It's obviously well within their range. I mean, that's only 5 hexes. I mean, where they are right now is 3 hexes. So we're looking good. We'll be looking to suppress the airfields of Batavia. Though, in all honesty, I don't know if I even need to suppress them. I think as long as we can protect our assets, then we'll be able to... I mean, as long as we get the actual landing forces ashore and get the ships away, then that danger's gone. But I could even have them just disbanded to the ports that they do take, which would be nice. I do have, over here, I have the 5th Air Division moving across. I am sending out actual assets to support it. It's undetected right now, which is good news. But I do have assets moving out here to protect it. It's actually being LRCAP'd, which is nice. So that's 175. So they're running cap. Okay, a couple zeros in here, then just give them support. Yeah, they're running the cap there. And they're in escort at night, so we're looking good there. No, that's looking excellent. Frankly, looking excellent. I'm picking up the actual paratroopers over here. I was actually transferred... Sorry, not the paratroopers. I was actually transferring the 4th JNAF Koi over there. I actually do need to pick it up. So that was my bad. I was doing it in reverse. But now we're looking good. Paramishiro Jima's being built up. We'll be going for the illusions in the near future then. Just need to decide upon a point of when I do go for that. But what we might do is potentially have Karga transition north to actually work alongside Shoho. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Got you here? Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, so I have a couple of ADs that'll be done next turn. That's good. Yeah, I have a number of actual ships over here. These guys upgrade later on in the year. And they'll look pretty good there. Yeah, those dual pipe scuds are quite nice, like 20,000 yards. Not bad ships. Not bad ships. There's a number of Ibukis around the area that I do need to actually have upgraded. These guys, could they be upgraded? Matsukis. They might be able to, might actually be able to be upgraded, you know. Yeah, I should be able to upgrade them in, yeah, February. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have that upgrades on then. And they go from 4 guns there. Yeah, they gain the central mounted torpedoes there. Do they already have those? Oh, they've already got those, okay. So they're given the AA then, so they're given 25s and some depth charges. Which, fair enough, that's fine, I can work with that. That guns are dual purpose, so the 45 10 YTs. Yes, okay. That's fine. Gives us something to work with, it gains a decent amount of AA there. Okay, so that's all we have to report on for the time being. Things are going well. Ideally, things stay relatively quiet, give us time to build up in these areas, and we're looking cool. I'm looking forward to when we can actually invade and conquer Java. I'm looking forward to when we can conquer Burma, which is not far away, really. There we go. Until next time, thank you for watching there. I am SunYan, and I shall see you in the future. Until next time, goodbye for now.